Hello, I really love the Parker Jotter as a real workhorse, iconic, classic, beautiful, durable, functional pen, the ideal daily workhorse. And one of the reasons I love it is the kind of ubiquitous Parker G2 style refill. And a load of companies make these Parker G2 style refills, and these refills are compatible with a load of different sorts of pens. So I really like this shape of refill because other pens like the wonderful Rotring 600 will take these style refills, and your options are really wide. There's gel, there's ballpoint, there's hybrid, there's all kinds of different refills that you can get for these pens and many others as well. But it's not particularly the Parker QuinkFlow refills that I like. These are okay, they write quite smoothly, they're not too bad. But I have always maintained, ever since I found them, that the best Parker G2 style refills are these, the Uni-Jetstream SXR 600. This one's a 0.5, so a 0.5mm line width. And I've always maintained that these are the best. They're certainly the best for me. But I have just received all the way from Japan these, the Uni-Jetstream SXR 600 3.8, which leaves a 0.38mm width line, and I think this might be even better than the 0.5mm version. So I'm just going to have a real quick look at a few different refills and just to show you how awesome these seem to be. Now, in my day job, I work in healthcare, so I have to write on a lot of different sorts of materials, sometimes plasticky blood bottles, sometimes occasionally greasy and slightly dirty paper, most often really crappy quality sort of copier paper, and I'd rather write with almost anything else out of choice than a ballpoint. Give me a fountain pen, a roller ball or a gel pen any day in terms of writing experience, but for me it has to be ballpoint pen when I'm at work because it's the most reliable and most versatile. So that's why I love the Parker Jotter, and I love the Parker G2 style refills because there's a load of different ones out there. Just wanted to have a really quick look at a few different, compare the Jetstream to a few different other ballpoint refills. I know this isn't a Parker Jotter, but the Fisher Space Pen refill will fit inside a Jotter if you had the little plastic attachment on the end there. So let's just write this down. I'm using a nice bit of good quality Rhodia paper for these little samples. I've just realised I haven't got any black QuinkFlow refills. So here's just a standard 1mm Parker QuinkFlow refill in this Jotter. The Fisher Space Pen refill, it's not particularly pleasant, it's a bit skippy, it's not particularly dark and saturated, it's a bit of a blunt instrument really. Personally I choose a Fisher Space Pen refill if I want the ultimate reliability, and for that it is absolutely fine, but not the most refined line it leaves. The Jotter QuinkFlow ink, it's quite nice. There's a few skippy bits, but it's not too bad. It's a nice shade of blue and it's quite smooth to write with, so it's a fairly pleasant one in terms of ballpoint refills, really not bad at all. A few of these are gel refills, so I can't really include these in this test. This one's got a Monteverdi Soft Roll brown refill in there. I think these only come in one width, kind of a chunky medium. Now, this ink actually looks darker and nicer on my camera screen here than it does in the flesh. It's a very washed out sort of colour, disappointingly. I was dead excited when I saw that Monteverdi did quite a range of colours. I was pleased to get a brown, but yeah, it's quite washed out, so really limited uses really. It's another option. And just to say, Monteverdi do ceramic gel refills, and I found these are really nice. I'm not including this in the test as such because it's about ballpoint inks, but yeah. But yeah, all the ones I've tried, the Monteverdi gel refills are really nice. Oh, there's a black Parker QuinkFlow. Yeah, again, it's not too bad, not too skippy, nice and smooth to write with. Not bad, pretty good considering it comes free with every Parker Jotter purchased. Yeah, not bad at all. Oh god, Schneider Gelion, another gel one. Again, I won't include that one then, but that's not a bad refill. Did want to just have a look at the Schmidt EasyFlow 9000M, as this is one that everybody raves about, or a lot of people really rave about. It's not quite a ballpoint in a traditional sense, but it's kind of ballpoint-ish. You saw that that one had quite a hard start there, and it is quite gappy and skippy. I don't know if you can see that on there, but I have found that with, I don't know, maybe I've just had a bad batch, but I have found that this tends to happen with all the ones I've had. It's really lovely and smooth to write with, and when they're working well, they give a really nice dense colour line, but I get a lot of problems with them not flowing very well, just like this one's just done as if on cue. So I've never been, although it's a really nice writing experience with the Schmidt Easy Flows, yeah, just not reliable. Also, don't play well on certain types of paper, and don't play well with little plasticky type surfaces and things like that, like a normal ballpoint pen will. So yeah, I've always been a little bit disappointed by the Easy Flow 9000 myself. Then in this pen, we've got a Jetstream SXR 600-05. And as I said right at the start, this has always been my preferred one because it leaves a really nice, thin, well-defined line. It's really smooth to write with, it writes quickly, it's archival quality, forge-resistant ink, really nice, writes on all the different surfaces that I come across in a day's work. Really sort of minimal amounts of skipping and things. I hardly ever get a hard start with them. For me, this is always easily, by far, the best choice. And these are my preferred refills, if and when I can get hold of them. Really good. But let's just get this out of its packet. SXR 600 38, 0.38mm line width. And I had a little go with this earlier, as soon as I got it, before I'd put it in a pen, and it just, to me, it just appeared to be even better than the 0.5. It seems to have even less kind of skipping, feels somehow even smoother, darker and denser than the 0.5. Can't decide whether that's just my eyes or what, but yeah, it looks darker and denser. Absolutely love it. Let me just try leaning on something and we'll write something else. I mean, they're both really nice. It's a hybrid ink. Supposed to be smoother flowing, and there's very little skipping in either one, and they're both really nice and smooth to write with. Yeah, it does. It actually does just look like there's even less skipping. How do they do that? It's such a narrow, tiny point, 0.38 mils. But I love it, even more than a 0.5. Excellent stuff, but this is really high quality paper, so this is just a bit of copier paper. The sort I have to write on at work quite a bit. Is it my imagination, or is it actually better? There's some very slight evidence of skipping in a 0.5, very slight, it's very good. Some very, very slight bits of skipping there. Let's have a look on that second bit of wee. Some very, very slight skipping there. Yeah, almost nothing at all. Not quite as dark and dense as a gel pen, but I mean, the closest I've seen in a ballpoint refill. And even though it's a 0.38mm, it's not scratchy. I don't find that scratchy or anything at all. Dead impressed with that. I love that. I mean, if you don't have tiny writing, maybe you don't want the 0.38, but look, here's my one of my old Filofaxes. Look at the size of this writing, look. I've got really small writing, so the finer the pen, the better for me. So yeah, Uni Jetstream SXR 600 38. This is the new champ for me. Might just be so good because it's brand new refill. I don't know. Time will tell. But yeah, this is the one. I'm going to get some more of these if I can. Any of you chaps a fan of these ones? Absolutely love the 0.5. But yeah, the 0.38 is the new king for me. Absolutely fantastic. The best Parker G2 style ballpoint ink refill that I've ever found by a mile. Love to hear your feedback and comments and everything. And I hope that's been of some use to anyone. Good luck finding these, they're really hard to get hold of. Try Plaza Japan if you're lucky. They've got some, or have been my supplier in the past. Don't always have stock, but yeah, there's various other places you can get them online, but they're incredibly expensive. So I would try Plaza Japan, but yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you very much. See you later. Goodbye.